Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss about one more design technique by name transform and conquer. First, we'll try to understand what do you mean by transform and conquer, and then we'll proceed with some of the algorithms that are related to transform and conquer. Note that in case of transform and conquer, a problem that can be solved by transforming a given problem instance into an intermediate instance. In the sense, in order to obtain the solution for a given problem, the problem instance need to be transformed or it needs to be converted into an intermediate instance. And with the help of the intermediate instance, if we try to get the solution to the problem, then it is called as transform and conquer. Or I can say, assume that this is my problem. This is my problem. This problem needs to be transformed This is the transformation stage. This is the problem instance and this is the intermediate instance of the same problem. I need to transform the problem instance into an intermediate instance, and with the help of this intermediate instance, I try to get the solution to the problem. That means with the help of the intermediate stage, I get the solution. In the sense, this is nothing but the conquering stage. Hence the name transform and conquer. Note that in case of the transformation stage, as I told, okay, there are two stages in case of transform and conquer. That is the transformation stage and the conquering stage. In case of the transformation stage, there are three variants. There are three variants of the transformation stage. First one is instance simplification. So what we do in case of instance simplification is we will transform the problem instant into a simpler or a more convenient instance. That is the meaning of instance simplification. That means transforming the problem into a simpler or more convenient way. This is called as instance simplification, and some of the examples that we can list out under instance simplification are pre-sorting is the one best example for instance simplification, and the second one is I can list it as AVL tree. If you do remember, in case of the data structure course, I have discussed about AVL tree, wherein AVL tree it was a height balanced binary search tree. So that why it needs to be balanced, we know that in case of a binary search tree, the worst case efficiency of performing any operation on a binary search tree is n, order of n, because if the search tree is being built only on one side, then it takes order of n time. But if the tree is balanced, then it takes in the worst case log n time. So the one such balanced tree is this AVL tree. The second variant under the transformation stage is called as representation change. The meaning of representation change is you are transforming the problem instance. You are transforming the problem instance into a different representation. Different representation of the same problem. Some of the examples for this representation change are one is a 2-3 tree, and the second one I can call it as a heap sort. Now coming to the third variant under transformation stage is problem reduction. Now what we do in case of the problem reduction is note that in case of problem reduction, the transformation to an instance of a different problem for which a solution is already available. I can give an example for this problem reduction as, say for example, if my objective is to find the LCM of two numbers, that means I want to find LCM of A and B. Now, in order to find the solution to in order to find LCM of two numbers A and B, if I know the GCD of those two numbers, then I can get the LCM of those two numbers. How? See here, my actual problem is to find LCM or whatever it is. Even GCD of A comma B is nothing but A multiplied by B divided by LCM. Or I can say if my problem is to find LCM of two numbers, now I am trying to get the solution for this particular problem with the help of the solution of the other problem. Hence the meaning, the problem reduction, wherein the transformation to an instance of a different problem for which the solution is already available. Now, one of the best example for this problem reduction is to find LCM or to find GCD with the help of LCM or with the help of GCD, whatever it might be. So, this is about what do you mean by transform and conquer. First, we will take an example for the instance simplification. We will see what is the meaning of pre-sorting. Yeah, coming to pre-sorting. First, let's see the definition or maybe the actual meaning of pre-sorting. Note that pre-sorting is not a direct problem solving technique or a method. It is just an intermediate stage to solve a particular problem. As you might have seen earlier, that is in case of the transformation stage, wherein we are transforming the problem instance into an intermediate instance. One of the category was instance simplification, and this pre-sorting is an example for that instance simplification. Now let's try to understand the meaning of pre-sorting with some example. Maybe we might have discussed an algorithm to find the uniqueness of an element. In the sense, I need to check whether the element in the array are unique or all are distinct, or whether some of the elements are being repeated. Long back, maybe while discussing the efficiency of the non-recursive algorithm, I had taken this as my first example, and you might have noted the efficiency of that particular algorithm to find the uniqueness was n square. In the sense, if my problem is assume that my set of elements are 2, 4, 7, 5, 6, 4 and 10. Now in this particular example, whether our elements are distinct? No, because 4 is repeated twice. Now what we had done, what was the brute force approach in the sense was, I used to take the first element, I used to compare the first element with all the remaining elements, whether it is equal to any other element in the remaining n minus 1 element. And next I used to take the second element, I used to compare the second element with all the other remaining n minus 2 element and so on. There you might have noticed that we used to run two for loops. One for loop running from 0 to n minus 2 and the second for loop running from the second element up to n minus 1. As there were two for loop, the upper index was n, I would have said, I can tell that the brute force efficiency, the brute force method efficiency was n square. Now, can we use the concept of pre-sorting to reduce this time complexity of finding the element uniqueness from n square to a lesser value? Let's see how we can apply pre-sorting. Now, as the name itself suggests, that is pre-sort, first sort. So, what we will do, out of all these n elements, first we will sort this element using some efficient sorting algorithm. Now, I'll take this example. Now, if I sort, what happens? This becomes 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 10. Now assume that I have sorted this. Assume that the sort algorithm is merge sort or heap sort. As we have learned merge sort, we know that the efficiency of merge sort is n log n in all the cases. So to sort this element, I have taken a time of n log n. Now what we will do, I will compare the adjacent element. I'll compare the adjacent element. After this, I will compare the adjacent element. Now 2 is compared with 4. They are not same. Now 4 is compared with 4. Now 4 and 4 are same. It implies that 4 is being repeated more than once. Hence, I can say that all elements in this given array are not distinct. Now note that in order to compare the adjacent element, how many comparison I do? So here after sorting, the sorting time is n log n, and I can say the next step is to compare the adjacent elements. Now what is the worst case? What is the worst case time? That means I may compare all the n element. In the sense, first element compared with second compared with third compared with fourth compared with fifth, and so on. So here I may do n minus 1 comparison. N minus 1 comparison, or asymptotically I can say it is n comparison. Now out of this n log n and n minus 1, which is having a which is so the total time, I can represent it as the total time is n log n and n. Now out of n and n log n, which is having a higher order of growth is n log n. So I can say, if I apply pre-sorting, the efficiency of the algorithm is n log n. But whereas in case of brute force method, the efficiency was n square. Now what we'll do, we'll put up all these things together in the form of an algorithm. This is the algorithm. Algorithm is being named as pre-sort element uniqueness. The input is a set of elements. Now the description says that this algorithm checks element uniqueness based on pre-sorting, and the input is an array A of n elements indexed from 0 to n minus 1. Now what is the output? If all elements are distinct, then the algorithm returns true, else it returns false. So the first step of the algorithm, I am sorting all the elements of array A using some efficient sorting algorithm. Next, there is a for loop running from 0 to n minus 2. Note that I am not running the for loop from 0 to n minus 1, because the index of the last element is n minus 1. The last but one element is n minus 2. Here, what was my second step after the sorting? My second step was I need to compare the adjacent element. So this is n minus 2. Even if you write it as n minus 1, it will do an additional comparison. Please, okay, don't do that. It is n minus 2. Now, what I am doing? I am doing if a of I is equal to a of I plus 1. That means I am comparing the adjacent element. If adjacent element are same, then I am returning false. If they are not same, then the for loop gets iterated, then the second element gets compared with the third gets compared with 4, and so on. Now, after iterating n minus 2 times, that means 0 to n minus 2 is the sense after iterating n minus 1 times, if none of the adjacent elements are same, then it finally comes out of the for loop and the algorithm returns true. Now, as we have already discussed the time efficiency of this algorithm, so assume that the sort algorithm has an efficiency of n log n, and this particular step here, if I do this comparison n minus 1 times, so if you see out of n log n and n minus 1, it is n log n. Hence, the time complexity of finding the element uniqueness based on pre-sorting is n log n. Hope this is clear. This was about the element uniqueness problem, wherein with the help of pre-sorting we have reduced the time complexity of element uniqueness from n square, which was based on brute force, to n log n. Now let us see one more problem. Let's take the problem to find the mode among n elements. Let's see what you mean by mode. Here my objective is to find the mode among n elements using the concept of pre-sorting. Now I can define mode as mode is a statistical quantity which is nothing but an element in the given set which occurs most number of times. Say for example, if this is my set of elements, now among this set of elements I need to find that particular element which has repeated more number of times. Now if you see this, 2 is repeated twice, 2 is repeated only once, 5 is repeated 3 times, 4 is repeated 4 times, 7 is repeated only once, 1 is repeated only once, 10 is repeated once, and 12 is repeated once. I can say that in this example, mode is, which is the mode? As 4 is repeated 4 times and 5 is repeated only 3 times, I can say that mode is 4. Now let's see what is the time complexity of using the brute force method. Now the method that I used was brute force. I just checked how many times 2 has been repeated, how many times 5 has been repeated, how many times 4 were repeated, 7 were repeated, 10 and 12 were repeated. Now if I want to represent it in the form of an algorithm, what I need to do? I need to have 2 for loops. First for loop to take each of those elements and to compare with the remaining element. And just update the frequency of that particular element. So I need to have 2 for loops. Hence I can say, if I use a brute force method, if a brute force method is used to find the solution, the time complexity is order of n square. It would be n square. Now what we will do, rather than using brute force method, let's use the concept of pre-sorting first. In the sense, first we will sort all these elements. If I sort, what happens? It is 1, 2, then 5 3 times, 7 1 time, 10, 12. Now find the frequency length of each of the word. Now what is the frequency length of 1? So this is 1. Frequency length of 2 is 1 because 2 is being repeated only once. 4 is 3. 4 is 4 because 4 is repeated 4 times. 5 is 3. 7 is 1. 10 is 1 and even 12 is 1. Now find that particular element which has more frequency length. The element which has more frequency length is 4 because it has occurred 4. So I can say mode is 4. Solution is same, but the time complexity will be reduced using this method. Now, what was the first step that I have done? First step that I have done is to sort all elements. If I use an efficient sorting algorithm like merge sort, it takes a time of n log n. Now, to find the frequency length of each of the element, what I need to do? I need to compare it with adjacent element. 1 is compared with 2, whether 1 and 2 are same. No, 1 and 2 are not same. Hence, 1 frequency length is 1. Now 2 is compared with 4. 2 and 4 are same. No, so 2 has a frequency length of 1. Next 4 is compared with 4, they are same. This 4 is compared with 4, they are same. 4 is compared with 4, they are same. Whenever they are same, I will update the frequency length. Hence, for this 4, the frequency length is 4 and it is being repeated. Now what I do, the second step is I compare adjacent element. Now to compare adjacent element, what is the time taken? Time taken is order of n. It is order of n. Now among n log n and n, which is having the higher order, it is n log n. Hence, the efficiency of finding the mode using the concept of pre-sorting is n log n as compared to n square with the help of brute force. Hope this is clear. Now what we will do, we will put this steps in the form of an algorithm. We will see what is the pseudocode of finding the mode using pre-sorting. This is the algorithm. If you see, the algorithm is being named as pre-sort mode. The description says that it computes the mode of an array using pre-sorting. Now what is the input to this algorithm? Algorithm input is an array of n elements. And what is the output? Output is the mode among those n elements. Now if you see the steps, the first step says that I need to sort the array elements. So this was my input initially. Now after sorting, the array will be something like this. Now I have sorted. Next is I, which is initialized to 0. Now this I is basically used for the number of iterations. So if you see, I have used I here. Next is mode frequency. Mode frequency is mf. And run length is 1. RL stands for run length. RV stands for run value. and output is the mode value, which is nothing but this MV. So to trace, I am using 5 columns: I, RL, RV, MF and MV. Now what is the first step? It initially starts with I is equal to 0. Next, mode frequency was 0. This mode frequency is 0. Next, while I less than or equal to n minus 1. Yes, condition is true. Because n minus 1 is the number of elements: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. That is 11. Yes, the condition is true. Run length is 1. And run value is the first element. What is the first element? First element is 1. Run value is 1. Now, while I plus run length less than or equal to n minus 1 and I plus run length is equal to run value, whether 1 is equal to the next element or not, I need to compare. That means how many times the frequency of 1 occurs. Initially the mode frequency was 0. Now what happens is with respect to 1, I can say the mode frequency, it appears 1 time, so this will be 1 and the mode value will also be 1. Now this was with respect to I. Now if you see, I is equal to I plus run length. I value was 0 and the run length value is 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. It goes for the next element. So next element is 2. So this is I is equal to 1. I is equal to 1. Now if you see if you trace the algorithm, this will be 1 once again and run value will be the second element 2. Now it will check how many times 2 is been repeated. Now 2 is repeated only once. So what happens is it will go for the next element. So next element is that means I value will be 2. So and then run length value initially for this 4 run value is 4 and run length is 1. Now you see it compares with the next element. They are same. Now this 1 gets updated to 2. Next this 4 gets compared with 4. This run length gets updated to 3. This next one more comparison. This run length gets updated to 4. It gets updated to 4. Now what will be the mode frequency and the mode value? Now mode value will be, before this iteration even the mode value was 4 and after this iteration the mode value will be 4. Finally if you see, if run length greater than mode frequency, I am changing the mode frequency as well as the mode value. So now this gets changed. Mode frequency is nothing but the run value and the mode value is nothing but the run value. Maybe after this iteration this will be 2, 4, 4, 4 and 4. Now it will go for the next iteration. I will be I plus run length. So the next I value is 2 plus 4 which is 6. Which is 6. That is A of 6. A of 6 is nothing but 5. So 5. Now it is going to check how many times 5 gets 5 is there. So run length for 5 will be 3. Now it comes here. If run length is greater than mode frequency. What was the earlier mode frequency? Earlier mode frequency was 4. Whether 3 is greater than 4? False. So this remains as it is. 4 and 4. It is not going to get changed. Now 5 was occurred 3 times. Its frequency run length is 3. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Now it goes for this element 7. So 7. Run value is 7. How many times 7 is there? Only once. Now whether the mode frequency and mode value gets changes? No. It will be as it is. Next element 10. Sorry. 6, 7, 8. This was 9. Yeah, this was 10. This was 10 and the run value is also 10. 10 occurs only one time. So no, this will not be updated because its run length is just 1. Next after 10, okay, next it is 11. I value is 11. A of 11 is 12. How many times 12 is repeated? It is repeated only once. Whether run length is greater than mode frequency? No. So mode frequency is 4 and mode value is 4. Now what you are finally returning? You are finally returning mode value. So this is your answer. This is about the algorithm to find the mode among a set of n elements using the concept of pre-sorting. Hope this is clear. Thank you.